1970 to the former secessionist state of Biafra. And luckily, we have our resident history buff, Jeff Abramowitz, in studio. Jeff, hello and welcome, and thank you for joining me.
Afọ m ihe onyonyo a o wee masị m nzi na ọ dị mma ka m wetara unu ihe onyonyo a ka unu kirie. Ama m na onwe ihe mmụta unu ga-amụta n'ihe onyonyo a. Iwu ni wee ezigbote onye Biafra dịka ị na-watch ihe onyonyo a, na-like ya, na-edekwa ihe ị chere gbasatara ihe onyonyo a. Gbakwa mbọ na-eshare ihe onyonyo a so that ka ndị Biafra ọzọ nnọkwa n'iru akwụkwọ gị ka ha watchkwa video ma nwekwa ihe mmụta ha ga-amụtakwa na this video. Biko ọkwa dị subscribe to my YouTube channel, biko gbaa mbọ ka subscribe to my YouTube channel because aghọtarozi m ka o si adazi na iru akwụkwọ ebe a. Ngwa kirie ihe onyonyo a ma gwa m ihe ị chere gbasatara ihe onyonyo a.
This week, our story takes us to West Africa in 1970, to the former secessionist state of Biafra. And luckily, we have our resident history buff, Jeff Abramowitz, in studio. Jeff, hello and welcome, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you. I'd like to start by quoting the Bible, which is not something I do often or even at all for that matter, from the book of Ecclesiastes. That which has been shall be. That which has been done shall be done. There is nothing new under the sun.
So how does that connect to Biafra?
Because we are talking about a civil war, the Nigerian Civil War, which was one of the world's great humanitarian crises of its time. Still resonates in Africa. It was a war when the eastern part of Nigeria, which was mainly Christian, dominated by the Igbo tribe, broke away from Muslim-dominated West Nigeria, its own state Biafra, fought a brutal, bitter war, held out for 3 years, but then was starved into submission. The estimates are that 1 million people died in 3 years. I'm going to say that again, 1 million people. At one stage, they were estimating 3,000 to 5,000 people a day.
I just want to draw our viewers' attention to the photos on the screen of these poor, starving children.
This is the thing. Nobody paid much attention to the war.
Right.
It was just Africans fighting each other, which, at the risk of being labeled a racist, was what the West was used to seeing throughout the 1960s. But then photographers got into Biafra and took these photographs and brought, especially a man called Donald McCullen, but not only here. They brought back photographs of the starving, of the dying, and the conscience of the world was outraged. Now, Nigeria put a blockade on Biafra, total blockade. They were helped by Russia and a Western state I won't mention, but I will say that the British cabinet papers of the time make very interesting reading. No medicine or food could get into Biafra. People starved. There were relief flights coming in, but not enough to keep them alive. There were missionaries in Biafra who did amazing work. I think it was the Irish Holy Ghost Order. If I get the name wrong, I apologize. I'm not that clued up on Irish Catholic orders.
That's all right.
But they did amazing work. And the organization Doctors Without Borders was founded as a result of Biafra. The conscience of the world, these pictures, the pictures we saw of the starving children, it was the great humanitarian cause of the day.
And now pictures like these are used all around the world to try to convince people to donate money to Africa. And
right.
This was the beginning
Biafra's
of
luck or bad luck was that there weren't a bunch of ecumenical pop stars to sing a song about them. But they died. They didn't survive.
All right, Jeff Abramowitz, thank you so much for